Hi everybody, my name is Mr. Francy and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. Today I am doing my final favourites and non-favourites for the first half of the year. It all culminates as per usual with today's video, my bookshelf tour. This takes forever to film, even though what you get is about a 10, 15, 20 minute video. It takes a good 3 to 4 hours to film behind the scenes. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really would appreciate it because of how long it takes. I only do this twice a year, halfway through the year and at the end of the year. So basically with my bookshelf tours, I don't kind of take the camera along and go, ooh, look at this. I more give you what we call the one book nonsense scenario, where I go boom, 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 boom. Here is every single book that I have really quickly, really succinctly. Let's get right on into it. I don't have time for an intro, so the intro is going to be looking at how the books are set up right now. Then we'll get into the one book nonsense. Voiceover Mr. Francy will take over from here. Okay, please forgive the shaking as I show you the top of this shelf. I don't have anything high enough. So, okay, this is where I have some series that I've read in the past. And, yeah. And that sits up above where you can see the Cassandra Clare books and all that. So, yeah. Okay. Then in that quadrant, I have my Shadowhunters books. All of this will be changed at the end of the video. But anyway, this is just how they are now. And honestly, how they are now is pretty much a big mess. This quadrant over here, I have, the big colourful hardback books over there are classics. And then I have a couple of fantasies next to it. Over here is like it starts off as horror and then becomes paranormal and then becomes fantasy and then becomes, there's really no rhyme or reason. In this quadrant over here, we have, Nevermore selection, and then some contemporaries and, oh my gosh, the selection's not even together properly. I mean, you can see everything's just mismatched, pitch-podged, basically. Over here, I have, again, a mismatched pitch-podge. Here, I have a mismatch, mismatched pitch-podge. The only thing that really makes sense is there, because those are all LGBTIQ+ set out in the rainbow-like fashion. So, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Going over to where the black shelf is, I'm going to take you to the top of that. So up here we have, on the left-hand side, we have some memoirs and then some contemporaries, a thriller, some sci-fi, some more thrillers. I told you, it's all bang out of order. Then here is my Brando Sando, no, it's actually not. This is like some sci-fi and some dystopian. It's really not in order. Here are some classics. Here's my Brando Sando shelf. And there are no books below that, so nothing to see there. Okay, I'm going to go over to the top of this white shelf up there. This shelf honestly makes the most sense of everything at the moment. These are books that I have on my SAS list. Behind this series is just the rest of the Skyward stuff. All of these series, except for Original Sin and Personal Demons. Everything else is on my SAS list. So there you go. And then these two are predominantly my display shelves, and no surprise, they are completely filled with cozies. And below that, while I do have books, they're more just books on future TBRs is the next one down. And then the one after that is just more books I want to unhaul and stuff like that. So, all right, let's get on to the one book nonsense. Here we go. It is the first half of 2022 Mr. Francy Reads Bookshelf Tour. Let's begin. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. All of these books, except for Cursed Child and Half-Blood Prince, received 5 stars from me. Half-Blood Prince and Cursed Child received 4 stars. Charmed, Trick or Treat. I don't remember what I rated it. I think I gave it 5 stars. The Rage of Dragons and the Fires of Vengeance, books 1 and 2 from the Burning series by Evan Winter. I don't remember what I rated these. And Scythe and Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. This is book 1 and 2 from the Arc of a Scythe trilogy. I did have book 3 a while ago, but I unhauled it. On to the Shadowhunters series. These are all by Cassandra Clare. City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls with the gorgeous Alec on the cover, and City of Heavenly Fire. I don't remember what this edition is called, but I do remember I purchased them from Amazon, and I love the way it looks when the spines are facing out. Very nice. On to my Mina Lima editions of classics, The Beauty and the Beast by Gabrielle Suzanne Bardot de Villeneuve, The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, The Little Mermaid and Other Fairy Tales by Hans Christian Andersen, and Pinocchio by Carlo Collodi. And this is how they look with the spines facing out. Just absolutely beautiful edition, the Mina Limas. The first 2 books in the in the Wayward Children series, Every Heart a Doorway and Down Amongst the Sticks and Bones by Shannon Maguire. I do plan to continue on with this series next year. And The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. On to the Selection series by Kiera Cass, The Selection, The Heir, The Elite, There's the Heir, The One, and The Crown. And the standalone fantasy, The Siren. Onto the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend, Nevermore, Wondersmith, and Hollowpox. I love this series and can't wait for book 4 to come out. And now for some randomly placed books, because Mr. Francy was disorganized. 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, A Whole New World, A Twisted Tale, Heroes of Olympus, The Lost Hero, The Memory Collectors by Kim Neville, the first book that I read on BookTube, The Replacement by Brenna Yovanov, Evermore by Alison Noel, Vampire Kisses by Ellen Schreiber, and Kissing Coffins by Ellen Schreiber. I did not continue on with this series. And on to my King collection, Pet Sematary, The Eyes of the Dragon, Misery. Oh, I thought this was a Stephen King. Into the Drowning Deep, a separate book, by Mira Grant. Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. The Chance to Fly by Ali Stroker and Stacey Davidowitz. 2 books that I hold very near and dear to my heart. Letters to the Lost and More Than We Can Tell, both by Bridget Kemmerer. Water Wings by Morris Gleitzman, With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo, The Devil Wears Prada and Revenge Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberger, and The Dead Girls Detective Agency by Susie Cox. The Woman Outside My Door by Rachel Ryan, Rowan of Rin by Emily Rodder, The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand, Alcatraz vs. the Evil Librarians by Brandon Sanderson, A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, Fields Gate by Aaron Lynch, Just Ella by Margaret Peterson Haddix, Winterhouse by Ben Gutterson, Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. The next lot of books are either romance or LGBTIQ+. P.S. I Like You by Casey West, Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, Kate in Waiting by Becky Albertalli, Listen to Your Heart by Casey West, I've Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella, and Love Simon by Becky Albertalli, What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, Date Me Bryson Keller by Kevin Van Wy, They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, Captive Prince by C.S. Packart, Conventionally Yours by Annabeth Albert, History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera, Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall, and More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. Lucky in Love by Casey West, The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper, Dashing Through the Snow by Debbie Maycomber, As Far As You'll Take Me by Phil Stamper, His First Family by Victoria Sue, Mr. Frosty Pants by Lita Blake, and Roomies by Christina Lauren. My classics: And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, The Wizard of Oz by Frank L. Baum, The Christmas Box by Richard Paul Evans, 1984 by George Orwell, and The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, Winnie the Pooh, and The House at Pooh Corner, both by A. A. Milne, Maurice by E. M. Forster, The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. The book that's too big to fit in my shelf, Dracula by Bram Stoker, The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and Frankenstein will round up my classics by Mary Shelley. Onto the Vampire Academy series, Vampire Academy, Frostbite, Shadow Kiss, Blood Promise, Spiritbound, and Last Sacrifice. All of these are by Rochelle Mead. Okay, now on to some more dystopians, starting with the Divergent series, Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant. And this is just a little pamphlet-y thing that came with the box set. All of these books are by Veronica Roth, and the edition of these books is the Catherine Teagan edition, which is part of HarperCollins. 4 is a book that was written a long time after, but it's technically the 4th book in this series, but yeah, not everyone considers it canon. And The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Onto the Steelheart series, Book 1, Steelheart, Book 2, Firefight, Book 3, Calamity. And these editions are part of the Delacorte Press editions. Now on to some standalones, starting with some sci-fi, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, Game Changer by Neil Shusterman, Bot Wars by J.V. Cade, and The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Cowell. On to my Karen M. McManus books, One of Us is Lying, One of Us is Next, and Two Can Keep a Secret. I do love these editions, but I wish in a way that I had the US editions. These are the UK ones. Onto some thriller standalones, The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton, and The Guest List by Lucy Foley. And 2 of my literary fictions, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy, and My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. And now on to some non-fictions, which are all memoirs. Home, a memoir of my early years by Julie Andrews. Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. This is actually my mum's book, but I still have it for some reason. The Diva Rules by Michelle Visage. Cancer Schmancer by Fran Drescher. A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. Helen Keller's Teacher by Margaret Davidson. And Unstoppable, My Life So Far by Maria Sharapova. On to my Brandon Sanderson collection. Arcanum Unbounded, White Sand Volume 1, White Sand Volume 2, and White Sand Volume 3, The Emperor's Soul, and Elantris. Arguably my favourite Sanderson book, Mistborn: The Final Empire, Mistborn: The Well of Ascension, and Mistborn: The Hero of Ages, the novella Mistborn: Secret History, and the standalone Warbreaker, The Alloy of Law, Mistborn Era 2 Book 1, Shadows of Self, and the Bands of Mourning. If you want to know where I got any of the editions of my Sanderson books, just let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer it for you. Edge Dancer, and the Massive Chunkers, aka the Stormlight Archives, The Way of Kings, my favourite, The Words of Radiance, Oathbringer, and I still haven't read Rhythm of War as yet. On to series that are on my SAS list, starting off with the Legend series. Legend, Prodigy, and Champion, all by Marie Lu. Onto the Skyward series, Skyward, Starsight, and Cytonic, all by Brandon Sanderson. And the Betrothed series by Kiera Cass, The Betrothed and The Betrayed. Onto the Twilight saga, Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and rounding out the series, Breaking Dawn. Confessions of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. The first two books in the Steel and Fire series, Duel of Fire and King of Mist, both by Jordan Rivet. This series is not on my SAS list, but it should be. It is the Personal Demons series by Lisa DesRoches. In 2020, Personal Demons was the second book I read on my booktube channel, and I read Original Sin Book 2 in 2021. I should read Book 3 at some point soon. And the first three books in the Del Toro Quest series. Book 1, The Forest of Silence, Book 2, The Lake of Tears, and Book 3, City of the Rats. All of these are by Emily Rodda, and this is how far I am at this point in the series. And praise the day! It's time to get on to my cozy mysteries! Starting off with the Christmas Tree Farm series, 12 Sleighs of Christmas, 'Twas the Knife Before Christmas, and Slashing Through the Snow. All of these books are by Jacqueline Frost, aka Julie Ann Lindsay. The first two books in the Silver Six Crafting Mystery Series, Basket Case and Paint the Town Dead, both by Nancy Haddock. On What Grounds by Cleo Coyle, book number 1 in the Coffee House Mystery Series. Murder's No Votive Confidence by Kristen Brecker, book number 1 in the Nantucket Candle Making Mystery Series. Murder is Binding by Lorna Barrett, book number 1 in the Booktown Mystery Series. Matchmaking Can Be Murder by Amanda Flower, book number 1 in the Amish Matchmaker series. To Helvetica and Back by Paige Shelton, book number 1 in the Dangerous Type Mystery Series. Class Reunions Are Murder and Midnight Snacks Are Murder, both by Libby Klein and both from the Poppy McAllister Cozy Mystery Series. Jingle All the Sleigh by Dakota Cassidy, book number 1 in the Marshmallow Hollow Mystery Series. Imagine having a lot of books that looked like these spanning out across the shelf, because that was the dream. Unfortunately, only one book was physically published. This is book number 1 in the Beachfront Bakery series. It's called A Killer Cupcake, and it is by Fiona Grace. The first two books in the Cape Cod Foodie Mystery series, A Side of Murder and An Eggnog to Die For, both by Amy Pershing. And now let's have some fun doing some stacking with the Amish Candy Shop series by Amanda Flower. Woo woo! Book number 1, Assaulted Caramel. Book number 2, Lethal Licorice. Book number 3, Premeditated Peppermint. Book number 4, Toxic Toffee. And book number 5, Marshmallow Malice. And this is Amish Candy Shop Holidays, the one book bind-up of the 3 novellas released in this series so far. All of these books are by Amanda Flower, and oh my gosh, I just love them so much. On to the Spelford Cove series by Samantha Silver. Book number 1, The Witching Flower. Book number 2, Double Double Tart and Trouble. And book number 3, A Baker's Coven. And I would be remiss if I did not say meow meow, meow meow, meow meow. On to the Secrets and Scrabbles series by Josh Lanyon. Book 1, Murder at Pirates Cove. Book 2, Secret at Skull House. And Book 3, the beautiful cover of Mystery at the Masquerade. And a look at some books that are on my TBR. The Foxhole Court by Nora Sakovic. I want to give this a second chance in 2022. Stay Gold by Tobley McSmith. This was recommended to me by Zach from Books and Bops. Midnight for Charlie Bone by Jenny Nimmo. I want to give this a second chance. Kernel of Truth by Christy Abbott. Come on, people, I just want one audiobook. I don't care where it is, just find it and I'll listen to it. Same with this book, All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. I really want to read this, but I can't find an audiobook that's available in my country, sadly. And these next two I got from Stormy, from Storm Reads for my birthday. They are both cozy mysteries. Booked for Murder by J.C. Eaton. And Books Can Be Deceiving by Jen McKinley. And these books are from my TBR shelf that was underneath the one I just showed you. The World's Greatest Ghost Stories by an assortment of different authors. I received this from a subscriber named Mike. I have not read it yet, but thank you so much. I am looking forward to getting to it. A hardback edition of Champion by Marie Lu. I don't have the other two in hardback yet, so I'm going to see what I want to do. Call It What You Want by Bridget Kemmerer. Prince's Gambit by C.S. Picard. An amazing bind-up of Jane Austen books. My mum actually found this at her work, and I'm so thankful for her. Northanger Abbey, Persuasion, and Emma. Can't wait to read some Austen. American Gangster. Quick story, my mum showed me this book from her work as well, and I saw that Tor there, T-O-R, and Tor published some of my favourite Mistborn books, so I was like, oh my gosh, Tor, get it for me! Then found out that it was an American Gangster book. I don't know if I'm going to read this one or not. Happily Ever After by Kiera Cass is a one-book bind-up of novellas from the Selection series. I haven't read it yet, but I still have it, because you never know. And more books from that shelf. A Tale of Magic by Chris Colfer. Sky by Ondine Sherman. These next two I actually had when I was really little. You can see in the description there it says 1994. Don't Be Silly, Mr. Twiddle, and The Adventurous 4. And two books from a series I loved as a child, The Famous Five. Book number 1, 5 on a Treasure Island, and book number 2, 5 Go Adventuring Again. All of those last three books are by Enid Blyton. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Aww, The Adventures of Stuart Little. The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. This gorgeous second-hand edition of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, both by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Can't do anything about the bottom, unfortunately. I've tried. And it actually has gold sprayed edges. Absolutely stunning book. The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. Ignoring the sticker. Goosebumps, The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. And two books from the Narnia collection, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and the one that doesn't want to stand up for whatever reason for yours, so I'm sorry about that, but that's Prince Caspian. And the final three books for this bookshelf tour, The Complete Adventures of Blinky Bill by Dorothy Wall, Remember Me Like This by Brett Anthony Johnston, Never Tell Me Never by Janine Shepherd, and The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Other Stories by Robert Louis Stevenson. And that is it. Those are all of the books in all three of my bookshelves for the first half of 2022. This did take a long time to do. I expected it to take between 1 and 3 hours, and it took the full 3 hours to get it done. So if you can, please show your appreciation by giving this video a thumbs up. I never ask for it, but it really would be amazing to see because it does take so long to do. But that is it. That is the end of my favourites and non-favourites for the first half of 2022. Next up, you will see a reading vlog from me, and it's about time because it's time to catch up. It's been a while. But in the meantime, that is where I am going to leave it, letting you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll see you again soon. Mwah. Thank you so much for watching. Please do be kind and love one another and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, happy reading. Bye everyone.